Good morning friends. Today we'll see the external features of the cerebrum. So each cerebrum is composed of two hemispheres, right and left hemisphere, which are united in the midline by the fibers, what is commissural fibers, that are the corpus callosum. So we have cut apart this each hemisphere and we are now seeing the each half of the cerebral hemisphere. This is your corpus callosum, from where the two hemispheres they are united with each other. Now if you see the external features, each cerebrum, this outer area which you are able to see is the gray matter. So we know that the cerebrum has got the outer gray matter and inner white matter. So inside, if you cut it, we will see the white matter, but it is surrounded by the gray matter from all its outer side. Now further, if you see each cerebrum, it has got the anterior, this portion is known as the anterior pole, or what is known as the frontal pole. This anterior pole, this is the posterior pole, it is known as the occipital pole, and this is the third pole, what is known as the temporal pole. So three poles are there on its outer side. Before that, we'll see how many borders and the surfaces are there. So there are three major surfaces. This is superolateral surface, this is medial surface of the cerebrum, and this is the inferior surface. Further, this is your supromedial border. So supromedial border starts from the frontal pole anteriorly, and if you trace it backward, it reaches up to the occipital pole. So this whole is your supromedial border. Further, if you see over here, this is your infralateral surface, intralateral border, which is further divided in its anterior and the posterior part. This is your superciliary border, starting from the anterior pole up to over here, and from here, from your temporal pole to this occipital pole. This is your proper infralateral, or it is sometimes also called as the tentorial border. If you see on its inframedial aspect, this is the inframedial border. This whole is your inframedial border. The anterior part of the inframedial border is also known as your, this part is known as your orbit, or you can say the medial orbital border, and this posterior part is known as the medial occipital border. So these are the three borders. Inframedial border, in its anterior part it is called the medial orbital border, in its posterior part it is called the medial occipital border. This is your supromedial border, this is your superciliary border, and this is your infralateral part of the border. So there are three surfaces between the supromedial as well as the infralateral border. The part of this cerebrum is known as the supralateral surface of the cerebrum. Between the supromedial border as well as the inframedial part of the border, this portion is known as your medial surface of the cerebrum, and the remaining part is your inferior surface, which is further divided into the anterior part, the part of the inferior surface which lies in relation to your frontal pole. This lies in relation to the orbit or anterior cranial fossa, which lies just above the orbital cavity of your skull. So this is known as the orbital surface, and this posterior portion of the inferior surface which lies above the tentorium cerebelli, so it is known as the tentorial surface of your cerebrum. So now we know that there are three borders, major: supromedial, then you have got the superciliary borders, then infralateral borders, you have got the medial orbital border, as well as you have got the medial occipital borders, and three surface: medial surface, superolateral, and the inferior surface, which is further divided into the orbital as well as the occipital surface, and tentorial surface. Anteriorly, you have got the frontal pole, which lies in relation to the frontal lobe. Posteriorly, you have got the occipital pole, which lies in relation to the occipital lobe, and then you have got this is temporal pole, which lies in relation to this temporal lobe. Now, how the lobes are formed? Before we go further, we need to know that each cerebral surface is irregular in shape, and it is having a projection. The elevation, all elevation, they are known as the gyrus, and these all depression which are known as the sulci. Because of this sulci and the gyri, the surface of the brain, it gets expanded. So in a limited area, you have got a expanded area for the control of the body. So we have to see the three major constant sulcuses which are there. On superolateral surface, you have got one sulcus, what is known as the central sulcus. This is your central sulcus. So this central sulcus, it starts from its medial surface over here, and it extends downwards and forward over like this. This whole is your central sulcus. It is also known as the central sulcus of the Rolando. This central sulcus lies in relation to the supromedial border. It is just 1.2 centimeter behind the midpoint of this frontal and the occipital pole. Now it is directed 70-degree downwards to this surface. Another sulcus is this is your lateral sulcus. Now this lateral sulcus starts from somewhere over here on the inferior aspects between this temporal as well as the frontal lobe over here. This is the stem of the lateral sulcus. This region, what I am elevating, this is the stem of the lateral sulcus. It starts in relation to the anterior perforated substance over here, and as it extends on its supralateral surface, it extends over here and it divides into the three ramus. So this is the anterior ramus, this is your superior ramus, and this is your posterior ramus. The posterior ramus is the largest ramus, and if you extend it further posteriorly, it reaches up to the posterior part in relation to this region behind the central sulcus. This is our central sulcus. So it reaches behind the central sulcus. So now we have seen the central sulcus, we have seen the lateral sulcus. This is the posterior ramus of the lateral sulcus. Lateral sulcus is also known as the Sylvian fissure or the Sylvian sulcus, and it has got, as we have told, it has a stem, then three ramus, that is anterior ramus, then anterior ramus, you have got the superior ramus, and you have got the posterior ramus. So this is the posterior ramus. If you see this brain, this is the occipital pole, and in 5 centimeter in front to the occipital pole, in relation to your infralateral border, this is a notch. It is known as the pre-occipital notch. So this is the one landmark which we need to consider while dividing the lobes. Another, on medial aspect, you have got this prominent sulcus, what is known as the parieto-occipital sulcus. This is the parieto-occipital sulcus. It is on medial surface, and if you trace it further, it reaches up to over here on the supralateral surface. So if you draw an imaginary line which connects the parieto-occipital sulcus with that to this pre-occipital notch, this is the imaginary line, and if you extend an imaginary line from the back of the posterior ramus, so this triangular area is formed which divides the rest of the lobe which is behind is your occipital lobe. This region below your posterior ramus of the lateral sulcus, and below it, this is your temporal lobe, this one is your temporal lobe, and this is your central sulcus. So the part which lies in front of the central sulcus and above the lateral sulcus, this whole is your frontal lobe. This is frontal lobe, and in between the central sulcus and the imaginary line extending from the parieto-occipital sulcus to the pre-occipital notch, and the imaginary line drawn backward from the posterior ramus, this region is your parietal lobe. So this is how the lobes are considered. This is frontal lobe, this is temporal lobe, this is parietal lobe, and this is the occipital lobe. So the prominent of the frontal lobe is known as the frontal pole, prominent of the temporal lobe is known as temporal pole, and prominent of the parietal lobe, occipital lobe is known as the occipital pole. Further, if you see this lateral sulcus, if you open it, inside the lateral sulcus, another lobe of the brain lies. It is known as the insular lobe. This region is known as the insular lobe or the insula. It is surrounded by the central rounded circular sulcus.